What's up, buff dudes and girls? Today we have a delicious recipe. It's called the Roasted Jalapeno Chicken Patties, and it is as delicious as it sounds. It is packed full of protein, very little fat, very little carbs, but that doesn't mean it sacrifices in taste. And it comes straight from our newly released cookbook. It has a lot of recipes in this cookbook. It is packed full of over 100 recipes, 200 plus pages, and you can buy it today. Make sure you click the link in our description, pick one up for yourself. Okay, it's time to get to the recipe, baby. The first step of this recipe is going to be preheating the pan on medium-high heat. Now this is because we're gonna be roasting our jalapenos, much like the name explains, but also our garlic as well. Now there's only 4 main ingredients: the jalapenos, the garlic, of course the chicken, and also the cilantro too. We are gonna add some spices, some seasoning afterwards once we kind of start mixing it up, but we'll get to that step later. First, we're gonna let this heat up, and then we're gonna throw the jalapeno and garlic on, roast it up a bit, and then mince those motherfuckers. The jalapeno and the garlic are roasted, and we let them cool down just a little bit because they got pretty hot on our pan. So you wanna let them cool down, and we roasted the garlic in the skin. So this is gonna be really easy to just kind of peel the skin off. And that's what's so great about roasting it in the skin. They kind of are like these little compact containers, and once they're roasted, you can just peel it right off there. Because I gotta be honest, when it's raw garlic and you're trying to get the skin off, it can be really annoying. So this makes it a hell of a lot easier. There we go. Comes off really easy, which is nice. And that's it. So we're just gonna kind of mince these up as well as we can, because these are gonna go in the mixture for the patties. Is there an exact science for this? Probably. Do I know it? Absolutely not. But just do as good as you can. Get a little mince, little chunks, and that's gonna be good because you just want it to spread evenly throughout the patty there. Just imagine like Ninja Turtles from Leonardo with his samurai sword, just like mincing it up like crazy. You probably shouldn't do that, it'd be really dangerous, but it just kind of makes it seem a lot cooler than it really is. That's probably good. You know, thicker, thinner, it's all up to you. It's preference, really. So now that we got the garlic mince, we're gonna go ahead and chop up these jalapenos. Get this portion off, and I'm gonna cut them in 2 here, just like so. Now this will kind of open them up and show all the seeds and stems, and you kind of like cut those out. And sometimes the seeds will add a bit of extra spice in there, so it kind of depends on how spicy you want it. I don't really like texture of seeds, so I try to get as many of the seeds out as I can. Sometimes it's not always easy, but you can kind of like scrape it out, or kind of even just whatever you do to kind of get them out of there. And also kind of get the hard bits out of there, like the fibrous kind of parts. You can kind of chop those out of there, because again, it's gonna be a lot about texture, and kind of get those hard pieces as you're chomping into the patties isn't always that pleasant. So yeah, there we go. Kind of get that, chop it in little slices, and these are gonna all go into the same mixture. So there we go. Here it is, we have everything lined out. We have the pound of ground chicken. We have our minced jalapenos, garlic. Also, we got a cilantro, and we got our seasoning as well. So look at this, it's all ready to mix up. We got our mixing bowl. We're gonna dump the ground chicken in, boom, right in there. And this is really easy. This is where it just all comes together. This is where you get your hands dirty. So now we got the chicken in there. We're just gonna dump our roasted bits in there. And now the cilantro. Now with the seasoning, it all depends on your preference and you know how salty you want or whatever it is. You know, we have the salt, the black pepper, and we also have the cumin as well. You can really add anything. If you want a little extra spice, you can add some red pepper, but since we already got jalapenos in there, we're gonna take it a little easy here. Because we know how spicy things can feel the next day. Sometimes that's not always the most pleasant thing, but I don't know. Hot going in, hot going out, it is all good, you know what I mean? Okay, so we're just gonna kind of judge how much we want here. You have a fair amount. There we go. To taste, boom, everything's in there. Now we're just gonna mix everything together. And this is very buff dude style. We're just gonna use our hand, crunch everything together, mix it all up, and then we're gonna wash our hands before we touch anything else. So we're gonna make them into patties now, and you can do 2 big patties, or you can make little patties, depending on what you want. So we're gonna try to make 2 buff dude size patties here. There's a lot of meat. There's a pound of meat, so that means each patty is gonna be It's gonna be pretty fucking big as half a pound patty. That's a big ass patty right there. Damn, that looks good though. Wow, look at that. Each patty is gonna have 50 grams of protein. Holy shit, that's a lot. But again, you know, this might be too much for some people. So obviously you can cut it in half, no worries. But you know the macros because they're all lined out. And there you go. 2 huge patties, that looks about right. Look at that, boom. 2 patties, half a pound each. Now we're time to cook them, but we gotta wash our hands first. Nice, so the pan is about medium-high heat. We're gonna let these suckers cook, flip them, and then they're done. Yeah. Oh yeah, tasty. Voila, they are done. Now you can just eat them like this if you want. Add a little ketchup, really simple, pure protein, or you can make a delicious burger. You wanna add a bun, that's gonna add your carbs. You wanna add some cheese, that's gonna be your fats. So you can really adjust your macros the way you want them. Or the calories. These are massive patties, as you can tell. You don't have to make them this big. You can make them a little bit smaller, and then you can have a lot of different smaller patties to either have for later, a little food prep, or you can just have them as little bite-sized party snacks. So a lot of things you can do with this, but this is an amazing recipe. It's super delicious. And that being said, I'm gonna take a little bite of this because this is the best part for me. Oh yeah, look at that. Packed full of that cilantro, that roasted jalapeno, the garlic. It's pretty hot, it's fresh off the stove there. Oh man, that is absolutely delicious. Still a little hot, as you can tell, but man, totally worth it. Didn't take any time at all. Very simple, only 4 real main ingredients, and there you go. The Buff Dudes Jalapeno Roasted Patties, baby. Yeah, try it out. And if you do, make sure you let us know in the comments and definitely pick up our cookbook because it is packed full of these kind of recipes and they're all delicious and easy, baby. Yeah. Buy our Buff Dudes cookbook, baby.